with no namers. Can I get an amen? Now, how about a hallelujah? Yeah! It's time. Time for liftoff. Come on, count down with me, folks. 6, 5, come on. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Ignition.
Here we go.
Liftoff.
Come on.
30 minutes after the hour.
There we go. Get ready. Hold on to your Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome one, welcome all. It's time for your daily English extravaganza. The show with no name on Vaughn Radio. All right. Welcome, amigos from all around the globe. I trust that you guys are warmed up. Vamos a unir esa D con el up, warmed up. I trust that you are warmed up and ready to go. Why? Well, weren't you listening to Fitz and his program, No Excuses? Well, that's the show right before this show. It's called No Excuses. And it is a master class with my buddy Fitz. Also, folks, this week is the Vaughn Radio Trivia Night. It is November 6th, 2024. My good friend Kyle Miller is going to be hosting that. It's at Roll Madrid. You can get all the information if you're following us on social media. Follow Grupo Vaughan. We're on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all over the place. YouTube, X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. So make sure you join us, not just here on the radio, but also on our social media, amigos.
¿Te gustaría abrir puertas a nuevas oportunidades y estar listo para cualquier desafío? Con el máster de inglés del Grupo Vaughan podrás transformar tu futuro. Este programa intensivo te ayudará a dominar el inglés profesional, perfeccionar tu comunicación y ganar la confianza que necesitas para conseguir tus objetivos. Nuestros profesores Vaughan especializados te prepararán para afrontar en inglés todas las situaciones de comunicación en un entorno profesional. No dejes que el inglés sea una barrera. Invierte en tu futuro con el máster de inglés profesional del Grupo Vaughan. Llámanos al 91-133-5833 o entra en grupovaughan.com.
That's right, folks. What are you waiting for? If you want to grab your English by the horns, there's nothing better than the Masters program. Remember, we've got it in 3 different ways, so it just depends on your timetable, your schedule. We've got evenings, we've got weekends, and we've also got full time. So it's up to you. Either way, stop by one of our offices for a free level test. You've got offices in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. You can also stop by in person But we've got a website too where you can get all the information. So that's grupovon.com/cursos destacados. That's for courses, obviously. Cursos destacados. But we also have a page for self-study, as you know, where you can get books and online courses. And if I'm not mistaken, because I'm in the Vaughn newsletter group, so yo lo recibo. I tell you guys to sign up for the Vaughn newsletter. Well, I do too. And I know right now, not because anybody told me, because I got an email. And in that email, it told me that there's a really special deal going on right now for the online course. So anybody who doesn't know that, it's because you're not signed up to our newsletter. Sign up to our newsletter, and you'll be the first one to know when we have special deals like that. So for any of you who are interested or have been interested in the online course, well, now's the moment. I mean, I'll teach you an idiomatic expression. You've got to strike while the iron is hot. To strike is golpear. And to strike while the iron, piensa un herrero, a blacksmith, as we say, somebody who works with metal. Well, if you strike that iron, ese hierro, when it's cold, you can hit it until you're blue in the face. It's not going to change. It's not going to mold. It's just going to hurt you in the end, right? It's going to be in vain. Try moving a crowbar. Try bending a crowbar. Does anyone here know how to bend a crowbar? ¿Cómo se dice crowbar? Se me olvidó, Lo sabía. A crowbar. Pata de cabra, pie de cabra, palanca, right? A crowbar. Try bending that when it's cold. You can strike it a million times. So the idiomatic expression, if you can now imagine a blacksmith, you've got to strike. That tienes que golpear mientras el hierro está en calor, está caliente. So eso es, hay que aprovechar el momento adecuado. And honestly, it is a killer deal. It's cheap as chips, as my British friends say. So strike while the iron is hot. Go over to Vaughn Tienda right now, and you can sign up for our online course. I think it's a great way to go over the basics and also to obviously pick up some new vocabulary, grammar, idiomatic expressions, and all that jazz. Stuff we tend to look at in our pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Do you know about Vaughn groups? Well, I'm going to tell you all about them. They are group English classes that you can do via video conference or in person. And the good news is you can start whenever you want. And you can keep the same timetable, teacher, and classmates throughout the whole course. And the best part, there's no strings attached. Sin compromiso. And if you act now, you can get a 5% discount for paying up front. And if you stick with the course for 6 months, you'll get a 50% discount in June. Wow, what a deal! As if you needed more reasons to learn English with Vaughn. Check out our Vaughn groups. Have fun and make friends as you learn English. Sign up now while there are still spots available. Call us 911-385831, or you can go to our website, grupovaughn.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media and find out if Vaughn groups are for you. More information about Vaughn groups, you can get it over at grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. All right, well, right now we are going to listen to something from Inglés para Viajar. So everybody pay attention. And as always, I'll have a couple challenges lined up for you after.
Decir las tallas en inglés. Put your sizes to the test. Women's clothing. She'd like to try this on in a size 34 European. She'd like to try this on in a size 6 English. She'd like to try this on in a size 2 American. Women's shoes. She'd like to try these on in a size 37.5 European. She'd like to try these on in a size 4.5 English. She'd like to try these on in a size 6.5 American. Men's clothing. I'd like to try this on in a size 42 European. I'd like to try this on in a size 32 English. I'd like to try this on in a size 32 American. Men's shoes. I'd like to try these on in a size 44.5 European. I'd like to try these on in a size 9.5 English. I'd like to try these on in a size 10.5 American. Key phrases for when you're at the checkout.
Cuando estás en la caja. Hay rebajas hoy.
There's a sale today.
Cualquier artículo de este pasillo está al 50%.
Any item in this aisle is half off.
Si compras uno, el otro sale gratis.
Buy one, get one free.
Echa un vistazo a los descuentos en este folleto.
Check out the discounts in this brochure.
La etiqueta pone que hay un descuento de 15%.
The tag says it's 15% off.
¿Cuánto es en euros?
How much is it in euros?
¿Cuál es la tasa de cambio?
What's the exchange rate?
Aceptamos pagos con tarjeta de crédito para todas las compras que sean de más de $5.
We accept payments by credit card for any purchases over $5.
Aquí tienes tu cambio. ¿Quieres un recibo?
Here's your change. Would you like a receipt?
Por favor, firme aquí. Esta es su copia.
Please sign here. This one's your copy.
¡Qué ganga!
What a bargain!
¿Conoces Weekend Town? La nueva iniciativa de Vaughan.
Pues no.
Es un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés. Y es nuevísimo.
A ver, cuéntame más.
Tendrás una inmersión lingüística total durante 2 días. Un total de 24 horas hablando con angloparlantes de todo el mundo.
¡Wow! ¡Qué interesante!
Ganarás confianza y soltura a la hora de comunicarte en inglés. Mejorarás tu comprensión auditiva y tus habilidades conversacionales en una situación de comunicación real en inglés. Ven a Weekend Town y te sorprenderás con todo lo que puede avanzar tu inglés en un fin de semana. Weekend Town de Vaughan. Un fin de semana de inmersión en inglés.
More information about Weekend Town, just go to grupovaughn.com/cursos destacados. It's as if Vaughn Town had a little baby brother, and that baby brother is called Weekend Town. You can go away for the weekend and you can be fully immersed in English. Oh, and I looked up, consultar, because it's not look for, no lo estoy buscando porque está perdido, lo estoy buscando porque pues sé que lo voy a encontrar. No sé dónde buscar. Cuando sabemos dónde, it's to look up, buscar barra consultar. And I just looked it up, the online course. I'm serious, guys. Listen to this. This is the last week, so it's available until November 11th, 2024. Okay, it's a completely online course. I just shared the link with you. So if you're with us on YouTube, you can click right on the link. If not, you can follow Vaughn on social media, or you can sign up to our newsletter. So right now, are you ready? A whopping 70% off. O sea, un descuento de 70%. So if you're toying with the idea, now's the time. Do you know how much it costs for the full course for the year? Are you ready for this? You're seriously not going to believe it. 30 euros. 30 euros for a complete online course that you have access to for a year. But you can only get this special offer or this deal, como vimos en el audio, chollo. You can take advantage of this deal, this steal, this bargain, this offer. ¿Quieres más formas de decir chollo? Well, only until November 11th. November 11th, 2024. So you've got the rest of this week, but I wouldn't think it through too much. No le des muchas vueltas, because that is a steal. 30 euros? I mean, I only pay for one app. Solo pago una aplicación, and it's Flight Radar 24, el de los aviones, okay? And I pay more than that a year. And all I get is access to an app. I don't have, all this amazing stuff that you can get, because here you've got your teacher. So you've got videos where you get the classes, and it's awesome because then you've got tests as well. So at the end of each class, there's a test like we do here, a challenge to make sure you got what the key element was. And you can get it at 3 different levels. So what I always recommend is always go a level lower. So if you consider yourself an intermediate level, go for the basic. Why? It's just going to make you a better intermediate speaker, right? And you should know all of it. And for 30 euros, I mean, come on, get all 3. I would, especially if you're someone who has been toying with the idea of going over the basics. And then you've got intermediate and advanced where it's not so basic. But what a steal, what a bargain. I shared the link with you. You can also get it if you follow Vaughn on social media. It's our online course, and I highly recommend it. All right, today's pop quiz comes from Inglés para Viajar, just one of the many useful, amazing materials you can get at Vaughn Tienda. And I decided to see if you know some of the most common idiomatic expressions we use. So today you're going to have 4. 4. That's right. Okay. The first one is, how would you say, vamos a viajar, o nos gusta viajar? You can use whatever structure you want. But what we're trying to say is con poco presupuesto. Okay. So, a ver cómo lo traducen. Apretado, ajustado, con un presupuesto ajustado. So, puedes decir lo que no, cuando era estudiante, es el ejemplo perfecto. Viajaba siempre con un presupuesto ajustado. Do you know how to say this idiomatic expression in English? All right. Well, hopefully you'll know it. If not, we're going to learn it. Don't worry. Okay, so, por ejemplo, yo he visto París con un presupuesto ajustado, right? Because it's expensive. So I had to go, counting my pennies, contando los céntimos. The next one, I want you to use hacer la maleta. You can say, voy a hacer la maleta, tengo ganas de hacer. It's up to you. I want you to use it in context, naturally, just to see that you're using it correctly. Okay, so number 2 is hacer la maleta. Use it in context. The next one is an idiomatic expression that means tengo ganas de moverme, de viajar, de aventurar. No, would be a good translation. Estoy inquieto, tengo ganas de moverme, tengo ganas de aventuras, de viajes. All right, and the fourth one, today you're getting a bonus one. And this one is the way you would say in English, bueno, el restaurante está en una calle apartada. O sea, no está en Broadway, no está en la Gran Vía, okay? The literal translation would be por el camino menos transitado. Okay, that might be a good way to say it. So it's away from the touristy area. It's where, that's why I'm teaching you guys these. Well, one of them, because it's a common mistake, and the others, because they're totally native. So, number 1 is viajar con el presupuesto ajustado. Okay, if you can use it in context, use it in a context where you would use it. That way it's practical. The second one, tengo que, voy a, whatever. You can use the structure you want. What I want to see is hacer la maleta. Hacer la maleta. The third one is an idiomatic expression that means tengo ganas de moverme, de aventurar, de viajar. And the fourth travel idiom is apartado, ¿no? Donde no están las turistas. No en las avenidas principales, vamos a decir. All right? So there you go, folks. Those are idiomatic expressions that have to do with traveling. And at some time or another, we all travel, whether it's for business, pleasure, or both. And how do we say, ya que te tengo, how do we say un viaje de negocios? Él está en un viaje de negocios. No es el pop quiz, por curiosidad. He's on a business trip. Es con la preposición. So to be on a trip, si añadimos business, ya es de negocios, right? He's on a business trip. He has a lot of business trips coming up next month. Viaje por asuntos por negocio. All right. Also, folks, we've got another order of business. Speaking of business, and that is this week's question of the week, which we're not going to hear this week, but we're recording it this week. And thank you, by the way, to all of you who have sent me birthday greetings already. It's going to be a special show. It might even be a tear jerker. What? A tear jerker? Well, what is a tear? Una lágrima. And to jerk es arrancar, o sea, que te arranca una lágrima. Te hace saltar una lámina. ¿Qué es la palabra? Now I forget the word in Spanish. A tear, una lágrima. I was thinking lámina. Lágrima. So a tear jerker, it's something sentimental. It's something dramatic, melodramatic. So thank you again. The ones who have participated, you know who you are. The rest of you, if you'd like to send me a birthday greeting, it can be anything. You can tell me a joke. Be creative because, well, the whole idea is to get you guys speaking English and also to have a birthday bash where all of you can put in your 2 cents. Mira, estamos viendo muchas expresiones hoy, ¿eh? Y vamos a ver más. So to put in your 2 cents, y ya estaba hablando de pennies, céntimos, means poner tu granito de arena. A lot of times, though, it's used negative. Do you always have to put in your 2 cents? Siempre tienes que vas a meter tu opinión ahí. So there you go, my amigos. If you didn't know that one, jot it down, apúntalo, because we're going to look at a lot of other idiomatic expressions, phrasal verbs, and much more in the rest of today's show. But right now, we've got to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to listen to our Say What soundbite. After that, we'll take a look at your pop quiz answers. We've got our spelling bee. We've got homophones, double trouble, Name that lyric. Name that movie. 2 sections where we learn English from pop culture. Plus, we've got our homophones challenge and our double trouble challenge. All that and much more up ahead. So, if I were you guys, I wouldn't even think of going anywhere. Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. Stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Radio. This is the show with No Name, folks. And right now, we're going to take a look at our Say What soundbite. Oh, there's some really good, totally native vocabulary in this one. All right, and I think it's going to be hard to place the accent. Also, today's Spelling Bee has a special place in my heart. We're going to talk about a lady I love, I cherish so much that I did an FYI episode on her. She lives on Liberty Island. You know who I'm talking about yet? She lives in New Jersey, but most people think she lives in New York. I'm talking about the Statue of Liberty. So we're going to learn all about the Statue of Liberty today in our Spelling Bee with a lot of fun facts. But right now it's time for the Say What soundbite. Come on now.
Say what?
Come on now. Come on now. Yes, 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 yes. Vaughn Radio. Vaughn Radio. Yeah, yeah. Come on, come on. Say what soundbite on Show Me No Name. All right, my amigos. Here's your Say What soundbite. As you know, this is an audio clip that we are going to hear 4 times, a total of 4 times on today's show, and I want to see what you can extract from it. I know you guys will be able to get all the juicy details. So here it is, your Say What soundbite for the first time.
That's a great question because I'm a phony baloney ever since I was a kid. I started working on my R's to get them clear and clean, like no Brooklyn people or Queens people do, at a very young age. Did I have a WASP complex? Maybe.
All right, IMO, in my opinion, you can't pronounce much better than that. I mean, he really enunciates Okay, and that's exactly what he's talking about. Sin decirte mucho, that's what he's talking about there. The lady is congratulating him on his speech, right? Not his speech, su discurso, his speech, su habla. Okay, same word, same word. All right, let me give it to you again, but I think this is a blessing. Una bendición. It's crystal clear. I mean, just the way the guy finishes every word, it's absolutely beautiful. As a native speaker, what an amazing speaker this person is. All right, here we go. I'm going to give it to you for the second time. Pay attention and jot down as much as you can.
That's a great question because I'm a phony baloney ever since I was a kid. I started working on my R's to get them clear and clean, like no Brooklyn people or Queens people do, at a very young age. Did I have a WASP complex? Maybe.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer or football, as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace. Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así da gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
vaughantienda.com.
It's the shit.
That's right, folks. I don't know what you're waiting for. If you don't have my latest book, this book is the shit. I mean, the title says it all. Esto es la mierda. No, it doesn't mean that. It means esto es la bomba. All right, my amigos, we've got a lot of fronts open. Let's see what we've got going on here in our group classroom. And I see we've got a lot of students participating already. Let's see. We've got Laura Prairies. What's up, Laura? Great to have you with us. She says, I'm in for a ride. You can say it's ridiculously cheap. Me espera un buen viaje. I'm in for a ride. Laura, hang on. Are you reading my mind? I just taught that expression yesterday, but not to any students. I taught it in an FYI episode that I recorded for the future on the verb to ride. So, wow, that's pretty crazy. That you have you hacked my computer? Wow, I'm in for a ride, que no es lo mismo que to be taken for a ride, right? So if you sign up for the Vaughn course, what a steal, vaya chollo, right? Well, you're in for a ride. Te espera un viajazo. You're in for a ride. Y la segunda parte, que podría ser un double trouble. But don't worry, we won't take you for a ride. To take somebody for a ride, estimarles, engañarles. So stay tuned, Laura. I see you're already working on that verb to ride. Well, it's a verb. It's a noun, too. Can I get a ride? ¿Me llevas? Can I get a lift? O suena lift de los taxis. L-Y. Lo escriben L-Y, pero es ¿me llevas? Can I get a ride? Can I get a lift to the center? Sure. Hop in. Súbete. So, yeah, it is ludicrously cheap, Laura. As we say, peanuts. Poca cosa, especially because you get so much. I highly recommend it. If you're thinking about doing it, don't think, $30? You spend more on a couple beers with your friends and a ración de torreznos, right? Well, I'm talking about my own ordering. Lo que pido yo. Call it whatever you want. Coca-Cola cero and, ensaladilla rusa. You know what I'm saying. And this is for a year. I mean, seriously, I'm even thinking about signing up for it. I'm like, wow, just to go through it. Not, maybe I can do it in Spanish. It's a great deal, guys. I shared the link to make it as easy as possible. But again, if you're following Vaughn, then you'll have access to all this information. So, Laura, great to have you with us, as always. Chris Valrol, there she is, participating in our pop quiz. And she says, we used to travel with a shoestring budget. The only thing, Chris, totally understood, but for some reason we use the preposition on. So we used to travel on a shoestring budget. Es frase hecha. You see, this is exactly why, and I applaud you again, Chris, because you got it right. We just have to make a little adjustment. I want to make sure we're getting all those prepositions in where they need to be, right? So we used to travel on a shoestring budget. Antes viajábamos, muy bien que has usado el used to, porque muchos alumnos lo evitan, este pasado, used to. So we used to, antes viajábamos on a shoestring budget, con poco presupuesto. Excellent. The next one, she says, I have my bag packed for my trip to Germany. Great. To pack es hacer la maleta. We don't say to make the suitcase or do the suitcase. We say to pack. I've got to pack. Tengo que hacer la maleta. So great. Are you going to Germany for real, Chris? Is this based on a true story? That's awesome. And then she says, cause, ¿por qué? Because a lot of times we don't say because, we say cause. Because I have itchy feet. That's 3 for 3, Chris. Great job. And the last one, she says, I also like to go off the beaten path. También me gusta ir por el territorio menos transitado, right? Off the beaten path. Another way we can say that too is to take the road less traveled. Y coger la carretera menos viajada. To take, and this is used figuratively too. A lot of people like to go with the flow. Well, he prefers to take the road less traveled, ¿no? Ir donde no han pasado todos. So a lot of these are not just applicable in the world of traveling, in tourism, but they're also applicable in life. So great expressions on a shoestring budget. Con la cuerda de un zapatilla, ¿no? Con ese presupuesto. Poca cosa, right? And it's with on. To travel on a shoestring budget. Se puede decir, por ejemplo, we saw Paris on a shoestring budget. Vimos París con poco preso. And then I have my bag packed, perfect, for my trip to Germany because I have itchy feet. Piénsalo. Si te pican los pies, te tienes que mover. Tienes ganas de viajar. And the other one, to go off the beaten path. Beaten ahí es desgastado, de pisotearlo, right? So sales del del camino desgastado, pisoteado, transitado, right? If you can imagine it, then it makes more sense. To go off the beaten path. You can also say it with track. We like to go off the beaten track or off the beaten path, all right? Some other ones, we already looked at itchy feet, the road less traveled. One that has to do with travel a lot is to get up at the crack of dawn. Well, if you have a red-eye flight, right, nosotros llamamos el primer vuelo o el último vuelo the red-eye. I've got to catch the red-eye to New York. So I've got to get up at the crack of dawn, right? Porque tienes los ojos todavía cansadetes, right? We've got another one, too. It's a famous song. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. To hit the road es largarse. What time are we going to hit the road? ¿A qué hora nos vamos? Nos largamos. Right? Sounds a lot better. What time do we go? Okay, pero ¿quieres un totally native? What time are we going to hit the road tomorrow? Oh, we're going to hit the road at the crack of dawn. And I don't have much room in the car, so pack light. To pack light is no metas mucho en la maleta. When somebody overpacks, we say you packed everything but the kitchen sink. Solo te faltaba el lavadero, el fregadero de la cocina. Okay, so to pack light. To set sail, esto tiene que ver con la navegación, pero a veces es poético también. It's another way of saying, we're going to set sail, we're going to hit the road at the crack of dawn, right? But careful if you're taking a road trip, you might have to deal with a backseat driver. A backseat driver is the person who's not driving, but they just won't shut up, right? So those are just some idiomatic expressions that have to do with traveling. Wherever you go on your next adventure, hopefully you'll get to practice your English along the way. Let's see, some more comments. Chris Valrol says, I'm looking forward to hearing congratulations from other show with no namers. Oh yeah, we've got a great amount of participation. So if you want to participate, guys, you can send me a voice note from your phone. You can send it to aalonso@grupovon.com. aalonso@grupovon.com. Send it before November 8th. And this way I can post-produce it and I can make it all sound nice. And I've got to load it into my soundboard. Lo tengo que poner en mi mesa de mezcla aquí. So just for the sake of making my life easier, if you want to participate, you don't have to. It's our question of the week this week. So this week, there won't be a normal question of the week. And then next week, we're back with our normal question of the week, where we look at a different topic or pose a question. All right, let's see. Chris says, yeah, I go with my sister. I'm going with my sister, right? Voy con mi hermana. I'm going with my sister because I go es suelo ir con mi hermana. So I'm going with my sister. Oh, that's going to be amazing. What a trip. It's going to be magical, to say the least. She says, it's her birthday present. Wow. Tell your sister if she's looking to adopt your younger brother, as we said yesterday. Great job. Hey, I'm in. She says, only one night, but I hope she's going to be happy. It's a surprise. Oh, great. Oh, you got it for her. It's her birthday present. Gotcha. Great. That's awesome. I'm sure she's going to be happy. And the good thing about going for 24 hours, there's no time for bullshit. No hay tiempo para tonterías. We're going to have an excellent breakfast. Then we're going to see the city. Then we're going to have a nice lunch. You've got 24 hours. It's different. When you have a week, you got to stretch out that budget. Que sí, hay que exprimir. If you're going for 24 hours, you can go nuts. Volverte crazy un poco, right? So, wow, that's great. Well, Chris, as I said, older brother here, younger brother here. You want to take me along? That's awesome. I love Germany, too, because you guys know me. I'm a big fan of order. Yeah, me gusta el orden. I like going into a train station. I like going into a public place and seeing that there's order. It's a simple thing, but as I get older, I need it more. Whereas when I was younger, I used to love chaos. I mean, I would go to Times Square on New Year's Eve. Okay, I've never gone to the actual ball drop because that's for tourists. By the way, if you ever go to New York on New Year's Eve, you want to hang out with New Yorkers, don't go to Times Square. We don't. Real New Yorkers find a cool party and go there. But I remember we went to a party at a nightclub. We don't say discotheque. At a nightclub called The World. And it was right in Times Square. So it was great. I was in Times Square, but the good news is I wasn't in Times Square. You get what I was saying? I was in a nice VIP section in a club right off of Times Square. Not off the beaten path either, porque estaba ahí. But it was awesome. I didn't have to, because I've heard some horror stories. I've heard people wearing adult diapers. Okay? Do you know what adult diapers are? Well, it depends. No, I didn't. I guarantee you didn't catch my joke. All right. Well, adult diapers, pañales para adultos. Los británicos dicen nappies, right? But why did I do the wah, wah, wah? Depends. Well, la marca más famosa de pañales para adultos en Estados Unidos se llama Depends. So, I mean, that's okay. I understand you want to be in the heart of it all, but why would you subject yourself to that? Go to a nice, restaurant or bar. I know it's expensive, but if you want to go out on the busiest night of the year, well, get your wallet ready. You're not going to be necessarily seeing New York on a shoestring budget during the holiday season. There's just too much to do. All right, my amigos. Well, I'll tell you what, since we don't really have time for our spelling bee, I think I'm going to leave you guys with our homophones on the show with no name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And we're going to take a look at these two words. Hopefully you'll know them. And what I want to know as well is if they sound exactly alike or not. But first, Chris Valrol has something to say about our Say What soundbite. And she says, I heard an American man, correct, whose accent I can't pinpoint. That's not a mistake, Chris, because this guy has done that on purpose. So you don't know where he's from. So great. I didn't get the gist of it. No pillé el hilo, la idea principal. I didn't get the gist of it. Well, you got a totally native. He explains he started to work on his arts like no Brooklyn people do. All right, let me give you a clue. He's talking about his R's, sus R's. All right, maybe that'll help. Because remember, he's talking about his speech. So that word you're looking for is R's, not arts. Okay? Chris says he also says maybe he has a WASP complex and something about phony baloney. Great. You did get the gist of it. I beg to differ. Te llevo la contraria. I think you did get the gist of it, Chris. All right. The first word is a word that means something that was taken from the ground. Okay? And this is minado, I think you say. Okay, so este oro fue minado en tal país. Okay, lo sacar de la mina. Okay, minar. But I want it in the past tense. Lo quiero en pasado. Okay? And the second word is a word I know you all know, and that word is mente. So if I say, ten en mente los que han minado petróleo or oro or whatever, you know, would those two words sound the same, the past tense of the verb minar and mente? What are those words, and do they sound the same? We'll take a look at that and so much more after this quick commercial break, amigos. When we come back, we'll listen to our Say What soundbite for the third time. We'll check your answers to our homophones, and we're going to Liberty Island. Liberty Island, which is technically in New Jersey. Yep. There's always a battle there because it's in the water. So they're like, well, that technically, those are New Jersey's waters. And New York's like, but wait, people, New York, Statue of Liberty, like what? So everybody wants to claim Lady Liberty. We'll learn more when we come back. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 3 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget to take advantage of this awesome offer. You got the Vaughn Curso online, and you can get it for 30 euros. And just to give you an idea, as I said, there are 3 levels. You got basic, intermediate, and advanced. At that price, get all 3. It's worth its weight in gold. Hablando de minar, it's worth its weight in gold. And how many classes do you get per level? 200 classes. For 30 euros, plus exercises, plus listening, teaching points, false friends, mistakes, grammar, the gamut, la gama, completa. So check it out. Go to Vaughn Tienda, or you can just search for Curso Online Vaughan. And if you take advantage of this offer, again, you have until November 11th. So strike while the iron is hot. November 11th, this offer expires. And just to give you an idea of what kind of discount we're looking at here, we're talking about a 70% discount. So do it. Do it now. It's the Curso Online de Vaughan. All right, let me give you guys the Say What soundbite. Here it is for the third time.
That's a great question because I'm a phony baloney ever since I was a kid. I started working on my R's to get them clear and clean, like no Brooklyn people or Queens people do, at a very young age. Did I have a wasp complex? Maybe.
¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop.
That's right, folks. Grupovon.com/cursos destacados. All right, let's take a look at the homophones. Seems like the only one participating today is Chris Valrol. So I'm going to have to just play this one. Well, that's for everybody else, Chris. Well, I'm just saying. There are people here, but the only one who is sticking her neck out, arriesgando un poco, is Chris Valrol. And you know what? You don't lose anything if you get it wrong. You don't lose anything if you get it right. If anything, you're just gaining knowledge in English. All right. The two words are correct, Chris. And she says, no clue. She says, I'm going to say they're homophones. All right. Well, let me say both words. So the first word is to mine something. Okay. They mine minerals in that mine. The miners mine minerals in that mine. That mine has been mined since I could use my mind. That mine has been mined since I had use of my mind. It's a weird sentence, but I just want to put them close together. Do you mind if I take the gold? You mind? They are. Great job, Chris. 50-50. Igual que la palabra minero, miner, suena igual que menor, menor de edad, right? He's a minor. Él es un menor de edad. So mind and mind sound exactly the same. Wonderful job, Chris Valrol. And the rest of you, well, hopefully you got it right as well. All right, folks, it's time for today's Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
All right, folks, it is time for our Spelling Bee. Round one, as you know, is, man, it is cutthroat, despiadado. In fact, I don't care if you get it or not. Yeah, because unfortunately, you're going to find people in life who say, hey, if you don't understand me, it's your problem, not my problem. Now, the second reading will be somebody who wants you to understand them. And you're going to come across, vas a topar con, you're going to come across both kinds of people and maybe some in between. So some people who communicate like the guy in our Say What soundbite, and other people who, oh, hey, man, I'm going to call him on down, like Matthew McConaughey yesterday as Wooderson. Well, man, you know, I'm fixing to get a job down there, and I'm going to go down there. And people speak like that. They're not going to change for you. Well, that's, you know, same thing happens when I go to Cádiz or a little town in Almeria, and I'm like, ooh, hang on. I got to fine-tune my ear. All right, is everybody ready? Here we go. The first one is, and let's capitalize the first letter of every word, okay? I already told you where we are. We're on Liberty Island, just south of New York City, Manhattan, and just to the east of New Jersey. There she is, and here we go. The first one is GROVER space CLEVELAND. The second one is LIBERTY space ENLIGHTENING space WORLD. The third one, NEOCLASSICAL space SCULPTURE. The fourth one is FREDERIC space AUGUSTE space BARTHOLDI. The fifth one is GUSTAVE space EIFFEL. ¿Qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. A partir del próximo mes de marzo 2023, podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English con Vaughan.
Brilliant!
That's right, amigos. Oxford Test of English. You can get it done at one of our Vaughan centers. Again, we've got centers in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. All right, I'm checking over here. We are, as I said, going to Liberty Island to check out the Statue of Liberty, or Lady Liberty, as we call her. A symbol not only of New York, which we also know is in New Jersey, but a symbol of my country, I think, right? Of the United States. All right, going once, going twice. Now, Born to Iron Man is there right now, not at the Statue of Liberty, but he's in my country. Very interesting time to be there during an election. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Born to Iron Man, you definitely love adventure. All right, everybody. Let me give this to you again. Round one. It seems like nobody got it. I'm just waiting another couple seconds. All right. We're going back into the harbor, El Puerto. And here we go. Oh, hang on 1 second. Chris Valrol is just at the buzzer there. At the buzzer is bzzz, en el último segundo. Let's see. Chris, the first one is correct. The second one is also correct. The third one is correct. The fourth one is correct. And the fifth one is also correct. I forgot to give you the sixth one. My bad. Well, hey, you got 5. You nailed it, Chris. And we'll keep it at 5. Well, because they're long. Son largos. But yeah, Chris, I left out, omití, la última. The last one was Liberty Island. But don't worry, as I only said 5, I'm only going to hold you accountable for 5. But give it up for your classmate, Chris Van Roll. All right, here we are back on Liberty Island. Number 1, GROVER space CLEVELAND. The second one is LIBERTY space ENLIGHTENING space WORLD. The third one is NEOCLASSICAL space SCULPTURE. The fourth one is FREDERIC space AUGUSTE space BARTHOLDI. And the last one is GUSTAVE space EIFFEL. Again, give it up for your classmate, Chris. There were a lot of vowels in there, muchos vocales, and I know those are the ones that tend to throw my students off. All right, well, folks, I'll tell you what. This is the Statue of Liberty. Let's see if you guys know what it's made of. ¿De qué está hecho? What kind of metal is it made of? Metal that is mined. We looked at that word before, minado. All right, it's made of copper. ¿Pero qué? ¿Cobre? Wait a second. What do you mean copper? You can't fool me. Copper has like a golden color, right? It's like a reddish golden color. Copper, like a penny. We talked before about pennies. Also, copper es policía. I don't like cops. I don't like coppers. Es otra forma de decir polis. Okay? So, man, copper. Why is it green then? Well, have you ever seen what happens to a penny when it starts to rust? Have you ever seen it? We've all seen it, I think. Copper pipes, tubería, cuando empieza a oxidarse, se vuelve verde. It turns greenish white, like a greenish white. That's where you get the color of the Statue of Liberty. She was not painted green. She turned green because what happens when you expose copper to the elements? Well, you get a lot of rain there. You get the salt in the air. And she's a magnet, un imán, for lightning. Of course, a big metal thing. I mean, it's like an antenna, isn't it? So she is definitely a magnet, un imán. And there are some really cool pictures. I don't know if you've seen them, but there's some amazing pictures with Lady Liberty being struck by lightning. We looked at that word before, strike. We said to strike while the iron is hot. So some fun facts. As we said, she's made of copper, but the green color comes from the years of pollution, la contaminación, the salt water that's around Liberty Island. Also, she's pretty thin-skinned. What does that mean? Well, if you have thick skin, when people criticize you, you could care less. Te importa un bledo. If you have thin skin, it means you're quite sensitive to criticism. Apúntala, son buenas. So she has thin skin. Si tienes la piel fina, significa que sensibilidad a flor de piel, pone. Que eres muy susceptible. Susceptible. That's a difficult one. And lo mismo decimos, he has thick skin. A lot of times we say that, oh, in the business world, you have to have thick skin. No puede ser muy susceptible. Fucking word. Wow. I hate that word. Oh my God. So to have thick skin, to have thin skin, it's basically her skin is as thick as 2 pennies put together. O sea, si has visto 2 céntimos en inglés, americanos, well, that's the thickness, right? Her pedestal was a crowdfunding project. Yeah, they ran out of money, se quedaron sin pasta, and what happened was they started to raise money or to raise funds, right? Crowdfunding, hombre, no existía la web, crowdfunding, Kickstarter, pero era igual. And finally, they raised the money they needed to raise, otra vez, recaudar en este caso. And it was awesome. It was awesome because finally they could turn it into a reality. Because, well, you don't want it to end up like one of these white elephant construction projects. And back in the day, you could go up to the torch. Now you can only go to the crown. But before, you could go up the arm. And let me tell you something. I'm claustrophobic. I'm never going in there again. I'll take you. I'll be outside having a picnic at her feet, on Liberty Island, but I am not going up there. So you're not allowed to go up to the torch. And the reason was because during World War I, some German spies planted explosives. And, what happened was it was damaged. The statue's arm and torch were damaged. Now, it's crazy because the explosion was not at the Statue of Liberty. It was in Jersey City, right across the river. O sea, lo tocas y está ahí. But it was such a powerful explosion that it shattered windows in Times Square, which is a lot further away. So just imagine what it did to the Statue of Liberty. And you can see the original torch. You can find it in the lobby, in the pedestal. So now there's a new torch made of metal. But before it was like, and it was used even as a lighthouse, como faro. What a cool lighthouse. Also, she sways in the wind. Well, she was made to be able to sway in the wind, mecerse, moverse, right? And that's because, she's got that thin skin, so it gives. To give is cede un poco, right? And this is what makes her able to deal with those winds, because I can tell you, New York City, we get some harsh weather. And there you're not protected by the skyscrapers, right? She's exposed, and everything on the Statue of Liberty, if you start looking at it, everything is symbolic. The number of spikes on the crown, everything. And she was almost a speaking statue. Can you imagine that? Hello, and welcome to New York. I'm the Statue of Liberty. Well, if Thomas Edison got his way, because he proposed that they install a giant gramophone, like a record player, and this would make it so that the Statue of Liberty could speak. And people thought that was a little bit too weird. Like, imagine it like a Disney animatronic. Hi, welcome to Tiana's Bayou. You're like, whoa. Is this a Disney ride or is this a statue? So I think that good taste prevailed over there, no? El buen gusto ganó ahí. But if you haven't seen the Statue of Liberty, it's definitely worth visiting. If you're claustrophobic, I would not go up there, okay? Because I remember my knees were shaking. I was sweating bullets, okay? If your knees are shaking, that means te tiemblan las rodillas, and I was sweating bullets. Estaba sudando como un pollo because I was so nervous about it. Oh, and in our spelling bee, the words over here, number 1, Grover Cleveland. Well, what the hell did former President Grover Cleveland have to do with the Statue of Liberty? Well, he was the one who dedicated the Statue of Liberty today in the year 1886. Number 2 was the full name of the statue, Liberty Enlightening the World. Yo omití el the. La liberté éclairant le monde. Okay? So in English, we call her Lady Liberty, the Statue of Liberty, but the full name is Liberty Enlightening the World. Also, number 3, the style. It's a neoclassical sculpture. I don't know very much about design style, so some of you may know more about that. But the style is neoclassical. We say neo, no neo, neoclassical. And listen to the word, sculpture. Right? Se escribe sculpture, but it's sculpture. Then we've got Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, and he is best known as the designer. He designed the Statue of Liberty, Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi. And next up, we've got Gustave Eiffel, who also was one of the builders. He was a sculptor. So imagine that. So Bartholdi designed it, the French sculptor, and the metal framework was built by Gustave Eiffel. Now, you want to know the craziest part? If you're inside the Statue of Liberty and you've seen the design of the Eiffel Tower, it's reminiscent. The structural parts of the Eiffel Tower, which are all visible, right? That's what makes it, everything is visible there. So when you go in, you can see that it was the same master. It was the same artwork, the same brain that made it. I'm sure if you can't make it to New York anytime soon, even if you have itchy feet, you can take a look at Statue of Liberty inside, right? You can look at it. I'm sure you can find it on Google Images, but it is definitely a statue that even somebody like me, who's grown up seeing this statue their entire lives, it still blows my mind. Me deja boquiabierto. All right, folks, we're going to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the 4th and final part of today's show with no name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the 4th and final part of today's show with no name. Don't forget to send your birthday greetings before the end of this week, before November 8th. Send them to me. I just got one as we speak. Mientras acabo de ver el correo, Marisol. Thank you. In fact, let me give a shout out to everybody who's participated. Marisol, Laura, Chris Valrol, Elena, also Alfonso. And I think that's it for now. So we've got about 5 or 6 people who have participated. You still have time. Send it to alonso@grupovon.com. Also, I hope you can make it to our upcoming Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, November 6th, 2024. It's a Wednesday. It's hosted by Kyle Miller, the host of Drive Time. and the author of Business English, available at Von Tienda. And don't forget about our amazing special deal going on right now for our online course. For $30, you have a year worth of classes. That's amazing. I don't think I've ever heard of a better deal. Maybe, but personally, I haven't. So make the most of it, folks. And I know you will. That's why I'm telling you to get it. It's a steal. All right, amigos, we've got a lot to do, so we're going to kick off this part with our double trouble, yeah.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Yeah, I said double.
Come on,
Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Double Trouble here on the show with no name. And let's see what we've got. I know that we have looked at one of these idiomatic expressions. There's no doubt in my mind. And you know what? We might have even looked at, I think we've even looked at the other one. So today it's two idiomatic expressions. But even though it was two idiomatic expressions yesterday, that did not stop some of you. Let's see what we've got today. All right. The double trouble is, dijo que quería salir a tope, a liarla, pero le pillaron manos en la masa. Okay, so dijo que quería irse de parranda. Es lo que pone aquí, ¿no? Irse, salir a darlo todo ahí, ¿no? Es salir a celebrar. You know, if you haven't gone out in a long time or you've got something you want to celebrate, pues esto es liarla, irse de parranda. Parranda, it's a weird word there. So, él dijo que quería liarla, que quería irse de parranda por ahí, pero le pillaron manos en la masa. You have to use the same word twice in our Double Trouble Challenge. Good luck, my amigos. Also, let me give you the Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time.
That's a great question because I'm a phony baloney ever since I was a kid. I started working on my R's to get them clear and clean, like no Brooklyn people or Queens people do, at a very young age. Did I have a WASP complex? Maybe.
¿Quieres estar al tanto de todas nuestras promociones en la Vaughan Esfera? Well, now you can be in the loop. Puedes estar al tanto. Puedes enterarte de ofertas, novedades y eventos. Y mucho más. Puedes encontrar todo eso en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Eso es, en grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. Ahí tendrás toda la información de última hora. Guárdalo como favorito. grupovaughan.com/cursos destacados. And stay in the loop.
That's right. Mantente al día, mantente al tanto. Stay in the loop. Also, if you're following on social media, you'll never miss a beat. No te pierdes ni una. All right. Double trouble. Anybody? Going once, going twice. Well, I'll tell you what, to save some time, I'll start moving over to the movies. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie, only on the show with no name. And right now in Spain, it's La Fiesta del Cine. So movie lovers, Chris Valrol, and the rest of you who love movies, it's cheaper right now. I think I looked yesterday, it was like €3.50. So not bad, not bad, especially if you see it in English. Then you're getting a listening exercise as well. All right, let's take a look at the movie I've got planned for you today. I already mentioned a word related to it when I said policía, que es la misma palabra que cobre, right? You remember the word? Copper. Oh, man, he's a copper. He's a cop. Es lo mismo. Well, here we go. The Misfit Police Academy graduates now are assigned to train a group of civilian volunteers to fight crime, once again plaguing the streets. Great vocabulary for such a goofball comedy. No, una comedia, goofball comedy, we call them. Okay? All right, so the misfits are no encajan en el grupo, no? What's the word you use? I know you use a specific word. The misfits, inadaptados, okay? Los que no adaptan, right? The Misfit Police Academy, no es academy, it's academy, and it's not police, it's police. So say the word with me, police academy. The graduates, now this is interesting because the verb is to graduate, but the person is a graduate, like the movie. Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson, with Anne Bancroft and Dustin Hoffman. And so the graduates now are assigned, les dan la tarea, are assigned to train, formar, a group of civilian volunteers to fight crime, once again, plaguing the streets. Okay? Plagando, plaguing. You say the same thing. All right, let me take a look over here. Chris Valrol is taking a stab at today's Double Trouble. Chris, it seems like you're the only one whose keyboard is working today, so that's for you. She said, he said he wanted to paint the town red. Dijo que quería liarla, quería salir de parranda. He said he wanted to paint the town red, but they caught him red-handed. You nailed it. Wow, Chris. Yeah, nice job. Excellent job. So yeah, to paint the town red es ir por ahí a liarla, pasarlo bien, una noche de juerga, de celebración, to paint the town red. And the second part is to be caught red-handed. And tiene mucho sentido en inglés, ¿no? To be caught, tiene sangre en las manos. He was caught red-handed, and, well, he wanted to paint the town red. Chris, wow. And she also got our Name That Movie and the Say What soundbite. Grace, your classmates are leaving you hanging today. I'm putting myself in your shoes, and man, it's a lot of pressure for one student, but you are knocking it out of the park. So I wouldn't expect anything less from you. So the movie, she says, it's Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol. That's right. And I love that one. You know why I love that one? Because the Bones Brigade is in it. O sea, los skaters, Tony Hawk, Lance Mountain, they're all in that movie. So that made me, and I remember I loved skateboarding at that time. And I loved Police Academy, all of them, all the movies. So that was just like, my dream come true. Skateboarding and Police Academy movie? What? Oh my God, this is amazing. And for me, it was very memorable because where I was at that time in my life. She says, I'm stressed. Yeah, I know, Chris. Well, nobody's giving you a hand here. I'm giving you a hand with that, but I mean, you don't have too much support today. All right, so she says, thank God Google is helping me. Hey, that's what it's for. Para eso está. And you also did a wonderful job in the Say What soundbite. As I look at it, it looks perfect as well. Chris, what can I say? Today, you have gone above and beyond. And you do it every day. But today, you're carrying the, como decimos, te enseño una expresión. Hay una expresión para todo. You're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and you're doing it lovely, perfectly. All right, let's take a look at the scene over here. Now, this is honestly one of, oh man, Tony Hawk, you know, the whole Bones Brigade. I mean, that's really cool. So Captain Harris, he's the one who's uptight, siempre enfadado. He's, and Proctor is his buddy, right? His sidekick. So Captain Harris says when he sees Zed is, I don't know how he spoke in Spanish, but he was the one you don't want to learn to speak from, played by Bobcat Goldthwait. And he sees Zed and Laura goofing off. No, to goof off is hacer el ganso, tontear, in front of the academy pool, delante de la piscina de la academia. And Captain Harris says on the bullhorn, remember that was his favorite prop. No, su favorito era, okay, move it, move it, move it, Proctor. That was his line. Move it, move it, move it. And he was always yelling at people through a bullhorn. No, esto que amplía la voz. And he says, what the hell is this? ¿Qué demonios es esto? Cadets in heat? And to be in heat, como lo dices, estar en celo, you say? It's like when a cat or an animal is ready to mate. So, in heat. A ver, ¿cómo se dice? En celo. Sí, okay, pues mira. A veces se te queda ahí, right? And I guess I should know that one from a cat that I just got here. So he goes, what the hell is this? Cadets in heat? En celo. And Zed says, no, we were just, I'm going to try and imitate Zed without destroying my voice. No, we were just like talking. And Captain Harris says, oh, well, just like talk somewhere else. He's making fun of him that he doesn't speak well. He says, this is not a spawning pool. A spawning pool, to spawn es procrear. Okay, es un personaje también de los cómics. This is not a spawning pool. I want discipline. Do I make myself clear, Zed? And he gets back on the bullhorn and he screams, discipline! Disciplina. And then Zed, under his breath is, gilipollas, right? Para que no lo oiga, pero sí. We say under his breath, he says, jerk, capullo, jerk. And Captain Harris screaming says, what? And then Laura defends Zed. And she says, he said bye. Dijo adios. And then Zed, instead of going along, instead of playing along with him, no, seguirle el rollo, he says to her, no, I said jerk. I mean, I think it was pretty clear. I said jerk. And Laura says, jerk. Like, no ves que te estaba intentando salvar. And he was like, no, yo creo que lo he dicho bastante alto y claro, jerk. And we looked at that word before. Wow, things really do connect here. There is some sort of serendipity here. We looked at the word before. We said a tear jerker, algo que te saca una lágrima. Well, a jerk is also un gilipollas. And to jerk off, something you do alone, fellas. See, jerk is tirar, and to jerk off, okay, let's move on. I think this is a perfect time to move on and see who's celebrating a birthday in today's famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
All all right, amigos. It's famous birthdays here on the show with no name. Let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. The first person was born in 1943 today. His last name is Pastor, but not in Spanish. En inglés. Yeah, his last name, bueno, está escrito un poco diferente, pero si lo pronuncias, es igual que decir pastor. All right? And he was a guy who was born today in 1943, an American playwright, escritor de obras de teatro, and actor. He wrote 58 plays, as well as short stories, essays, ensayos, memoirs, and so much more. His play, Buried Child, was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. It won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama. Lo estaba leyendo el próximo. It won the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 1979. It's pretty hardcore. Se llama Buried Child, Niño Enterrado. Then he was nominated for an Academy Award for an actor, not for writing. And this was for portraying Chuck Yeager, the guy who broke the speed barrier, the sound barrier, I should say. And the movie came out in 1983. It's called The Right Stuff. Tenemos lo que requiere. I think you call it Listos para la Gloria or something like this, if I'm not mistaken. It's a great movie. It's called The Right Stuff. It's not just a New Kids on the Block song. You've got the right stuff, baby. Love it when you turn me on. You got the right stuff. Tienes lo que requiere. Tienes ese no sé qué. And I love the way you turn me on. Me gusta como me entiendes, como me pones. All right, so that's number one. Number two, this person was born in 1913. She was an Indian-British actress, and she won the Academy Award for Best Actress twice. And one of those was for playing Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind. ¿Te suena? Lo que el viento se llevó. And the other one was for playing Blanche Dubois in the film version of the play, A Streetcar Named Desire. And, well, what can I tell you? The rest is history. She is probably one of Hollywood's most celebrated stars. And she had a tough time in her later years because she struggled with, luchó con, bipolar disorder, tuberculosis. She died very young. She died at 53. And last but not least, speaking of The Graduate, hemos dicho graduate antes, well, the people who sing Mrs. Robinson. Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Jesus loves you more than you will know. Oh, oh, oh. And it's not Simon. Es el otro. They also have The Sound of Silence. Que temazo. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. Vision, vision, softly he's speaking. And one of their greatest songs, if you haven't heard it, Bridge Over Troubled Water. It's a song about friends. Like a bridge over troubled water. And this guy's from Queens, New York, but you would never know because he pronounces his R's really good. He doesn't say New York, he says New York. Sound familiar, right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the soul es única, the soul student today, Chris Barrol. Number one, Sam Shepard. Number two, Vivian Lee. And number three, Art Garfunkel. I know you say Garfunkel, but it's Garfunkel. Art Garfunkel. And an interviewer was asking him about his R's. And she said, well, you don't pronounce your R's like someone from New York, right? We're going to go to the car and we're going to go to New York. Also in Boston, too. They don't pronounce their R's. Their R's are almost like a British R, right? Are you going to the car? All right, because I got to go to New York later, okay? It's like a Queens, a Brooklyn kind of. Their R's are very breathy, okay? No son. Es una A, no una R. And she said, hey, you don't sound like somebody from Queens or from, with that New York accent there. And he goes, oh, that's a great question. Buena pregunta, he said. It's because I'm a phony baloney. Phony baloney es un falso. Because I'm a phony baloney. He goes, ever since I was a kid, I started working on my R's. Empecé a trabajar las R's to get them clear and clean like no Brooklyn people or Queens people do. At a very young age, did I have a WASP complex? WASP is white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. O sea, tenía un complejo de pijillo, no, a la hora de hablar. Did I have a WASP complex? And then, well, he seems like he's got a sense of humor. He goes, maybe, quizá. I didn't want to sound like I was from Queens. Here he is, birthday boy, Art Garfunkel.
That's a great question because I'm a phony baloney ever since I was a kid. I started working on my R's to get them clear and clean like no Brooklyn people or Queens people do at a very young age. Did I have a WASP complex? Maybe.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
All right, that's a round of applause for Chris Valrol in the group. And for everybody who is participating at a later time, if you're listening right now via podcast, if you're listening via the Vaughn Radio app, however you listen, if you're watching the YouTube video, thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad you decided to spend this 2-hour period together. I hope you'll stay tuned because a great friend of mine is going to teach you English next. Jimena Holiday, and her program is Test Your English. So keep listening on the Vaughn Radio app. And today's song is a song that I love. It's about infidelity. It's about cheating on someone. To cheat on. We don't say to put the horns, poner los cuernos. Alguien me dijo, she put the horns on. No, she cheated on you. And the artist, if you want to Google it, the artist is Shaggy. And the song was called, it's a great song. Just the name of it. It wasn't me. No fue yo. No he sido. It wasn't me. So let's take a look at it. It starts out and he goes, honey came in and she caught me red-handed. Honey, mi cariño entró y me pilló manos en la masa. We looked at that expression before. Honey came in and she caught me red-handed, creeping with the girl next door. To creep es mover sigilosamente. So creeping with the girl next door con la vecina. Picture this, we were both buck naked. Imagínate eso, los dos estábamos en pelotas, banging on the bathroom floor, and banging is fornicando, banging on the bathroom floor. How could I forget that I had given her an extra key? ¿Cómo se me ha olvidado que le da una llave extra? All this time she was standing there, she never took her eyes off me. Wasn't me. Then she caught me on the counter. Wasn't me. Caught me banging on the sofa. Wasn't me. Then it caught her in the shower.
All right.
Honey came in and she caught me red-handed, creeping with the girl next door. Sing it. The picture this, we were both butt naked, creeping with the girl. How could I forget that I had given her an extra key? All this time she was standing there, she never took her eyes off me. Go!